chapter 4, Nutrify. Jesus said to them, I am the bread of life. Whoever comes to me shall never hunger, and whoever believes in me shall never thirst. John 6, verse 35. When the Lord Jesus Christ said that he was the bread of life, he was connecting the dots between the spiritual and the physical. He had just performed the miracle of feeding the 5,000, and while he was quite pleased to bless the masses, his greater motivation was the revelation of his purpose in coming to the earth. The feeding pointed to something beyond what the eye could see. Jesus is bread. He is manna. Like the manna that had come to Israel in the wilderness many years before, here Jesus came to a spiritually lethargic, spiritually anemic people in the very same wilderness predicament in order to announce his great provision. Providentially, the word manna means, what is this? And Jesus answers the question. It's all about bread, but not just regular plain old bread. It's nourishing bread, which consists of life. They wanted manna, an uncertain provision. They needed bread, a certain provision in Jesus. I don't believe Jesus was giving a nutrition lesson, so let me rule out that objection. He wasn't discussing the nature of cellular health and the need for the mighty 90 nutrients. He was, however, making a connection between heaven and earth. Bread, food, is needed to satiate and sustain us. Remember, he had just fed a whole lot of people. But the sustenance of the physical is akin to the sustenance of the spiritual. Like bread which fills the body, so Christ fills the Christian. When we come to Christ, we never hunger. When we believe on Christ, we never thirst. He fills us. Jesus Christ claims the title of ultimate sustainer. He is the one who created selenium, vitamin C, and the omega-3 essential fatty acids. He made those things in order to point us to our need for him. When we trust Jesus, rely on Jesus, and shape our lives in accordance to Jesus' will, we experience true healing, an eternal life that does not just stamp your ticket for heaven, it stamps your ticket for today. The Bible is not a blueprint for what to do when you get to heaven. It's a blueprint for how to behave now. This means that we must be healthy, and we must acquire proper nutrition. Why? So we can serve God and neighbor. Cell building essential number 1. Healthy nutrition. The secret to a healthy life is developing healthy cells, and healthy cells can only be healthy to the degree that they receive the proper raw materials. Remember the tornado problem from the last chapter? When we are nutritionally depleted, the absorption of nutrients is lacking, and this results in toxins and other pathogens destroying our system, much like a tornado does to a home. The only way to rebuild is with the proper raw materials. You should use new materials. You should not try and rebuild the home using the scattered old materials found in the wreckage. Take heed to Dr. Joel Wallach, Dr. Ma Lan, and Dr. Jared Schrauzer. To achieve maximum fertility and healthy outcomes of birth defect-free pregnancies, healthful, disease-free lives, and maximum longevity, one must supplement with all 90 essential nutrients to warranty their optimal daily intake. You cannot depend on your food to be your sole source of macro and micronutrients. Failing to be proactive and to consume the optimal supplement program based on body weight, you will contract nutritional deficiency diseases and spend excessive amounts of time and money on medical care and prescriptions. The secret is to give your body the raw materials, the 90 essential nutrients, rather than depend on technology to deal with diseases after they appear. Dr. Wallach describes the problem with using the old adage, "You are what you eat," believing it to be entirely incorrect. In his mind, you are what you absorb. Proper absorption of nutrients is the key to unlocking health. Please read that again. We simply must have healthy absorption. There are, however, a couple of things inhibiting nutritional absorption. Hypochlorhydria, or low stomach acid levels, and gluten intolerance are both chief suspects as it pertains to getting proper nutrition. Dr. Wallach and company explain hypochlorhydria. The raw material for the chief cells, the acid manufacturing cells of the stomach, to make hydrochloric acid is NaCl, which is salt. Stomach acid is required to keep the stomach environment sterile and free of bacteria, viruses, yeast, and fungus. Failure to keep the stomach environment at a low pH, below 2, results in organism overgrowth, gastric fermentation, and reflux. This acidic gastric environment is also required to facilitate the absorption of vitamins B12 by activating the intrinsic factor that is produced by specialized cells in the stomach wall to activate the stomach enzyme pepsin, which in the presence of stomach acid will break down protein into amino acids, peptides, and polypeptides that facilitates absorption and to facilitate the absorption of minerals. The second problem, gluten intolerance, is the next guilty culprit for preventing nutrient absorption. Gluten intolerance, as a negative reaction to grain consumption, was recognized by the Egyptians and Greek physicians thousands of years ago. Gluten intolerance is not an allergy to wheat, barley, rye, or oat proteins. However, when a person is intolerant of small grain proteins, the consumption of gluten will produce a contact enteritis, similar to contact dermatitis, where an individual is exposed to the juices of poison ivy. No one is allergic to poison ivy. However, just about everything is intolerant of poison ivy. The gastrointestinal damage that is produced by the gluten contact enteritis includes celiac disease, a wheat allergy that occurs concurrently with contact enteritis, diverticulitis, appendicitis, irritable bowel syndrome, inflammatory bowel syndrome, leaky gut syndrome, colitis, ulcerative colitis, Crohn's disease, gastritis, bloating, and reflux. The gradual and progressive loss of intestinal villi as a result of contact enteritis produces a kaleidoscope of nutritional deficiency diseases as a result of malabsorption, including infertility, birth defects, muscular dystrophy, cystic fibrosis, cerebral palsy, Down syndrome, intersex syndrome, gay behavior, etc., colicky babies, keratosis, eczema, dermatitis, psoriasis, rosacea, asthma, fibromyalgia, lupus, sarcoidosis, diabetes, kidney failure, kidney stones, arthritis, obesity, osteoporosis, periodontal disease, dementia, heart disease, hypertension, alopecia, macular degeneration, dental problems, cataracts, nutritional secondary hyperparathyroidism, hypothyroidism, peripheral neuropathies, liver disease, constipation, diarrhea, etc. I quoted this long section to illustrate the importance of nutritional absorption. If you notice in the last paragraph of the previous quote, The laundry list of chronic illnesses and conditions listed arises from the, quote, gradual and progressive loss of intestinal villi, end quote. The stomach works with the small and large intestine in order to pull out the nutrients from the food, break down the proteins, and eliminate what's left during the digestive process. Digestion, you might say, is everything, for in digestion, you get the materials needed for cellular absorption. Sadly, gluten inhibits the absorption because it destroys the villi and your microbiome. Dr. Wallach suggests staying away from these 10 foods: wheat, barley, rye, oats and oatmeal, even if it says it's gluten-free. Fried food. Nothing fried. You should boil, broil, or bake. Oils. Oils oxidize when they come into contact with the air, becoming rancid. Since almost all oil is continually exposed to some air from the time it is produced, the process of oxidization has begun in even the freshest oil. These oxidized oils cause inflammation and cell damage. Well done red meat, i.e. no burned fats. Rare or medium rare is okay. If you grill your food, try to have something between the food and the fire, like aluminum foil, so the juice doesn't drip onto the flame and then deposit dangerous things on the meat. Any nitrates added to the meat, i.e. deli meats, tell your butcher no nitrates or nitrites. No carbonated drinks of any kind within 1 hour before, during, or 1 hour after meals. Skin of a baked potato, or yam, or sweet potato. If you boil a potato, you can eat the skins. Avoid cancer-causing toxins. Much of what passes for food today is nothing but chemically concocted products that appear to be food but end up messing with your body's natural processes. Garbage in, garbage out is an apt description for the little snacks, cereals, and boxed food that Americans love. The problem is, thousands and thousands of chemicals are integrated into the food supply, and not only are they not adequately tested, they are altogether ignored by the FDA, which is a pay-to-play organization anyway. If you want healthy nutrition, stay away from the middle of the grocery store, for the most part, and shop on the outer edges. The following list of what to avoid comes from The Truth About Cancer and are things we ought to stay away from. 1. Hydrogenated and partially hydrogenated vegetable oils. Shelf life is everything. So manufacturers use these unhealthy oils to make the product last longer. These trans fats become problematic because they are incapable of binding with oxygen, and thus they clog your cells and your body up like sludge in a pipe. Trans fats are plastic fats, and when your cell membranes are coated in plastic, they can't reproduce and fight off the bad stuff, which means there's no voltage, and thus cancer and disease runs rampant. Quote, the cell membrane becomes so saturated with glucose that it begins to offload into fat cells. Thus, people who continue to eat plastic fats get fatter and fatter. End quote. When your cells are wrapped in plastic, your body responds negatively. Your brain, as Dr. Tennant illustrates, doesn't work well and becomes, quote, prone to depression, chronic fatigue, attention deficiency, brain fog, etc. End quote. 2. Refined sugars. Cane sugar is a step ahead of a high fructose corn syrup because the pancreas can still produce insulin. The problem is, refined sugars encourage rogue cells, like cancer cells, to ferment and feed the cells. Refined sugars rigorously feed bad cells. Staying away from sugar starves the enemy. 3. Aspartame, MSG, and excitotoxins. Monosodium glutamate, or MSG, and aspartame are excitotoxins, meaning that they are Trojan horse chemicals that, quote, slip by the brain's protective defenses and latch onto neuron receptors, exciting them to such a degree that they eventually die, end quote. These neurotoxins are deadly. Aspartame, for example, is broken down and turned into formaldehyde, which we know is carcinogenic. 4. GMOs and crop pesticides. The safety and efficacy of GMOs has been a question since 1996, which is when they made their debut. Bollinger notes that there are countless animal studies that have linked their consumption to gastrointestinal disorders and immune dysfunction. GMOs and the toxins used to grow them are, to put it mildly, unsafe and altogether destructive to the body. With chronic illnesses on the rise, and pesticides and herbicides like Roundup, glyphosate, being used on our food, it's no wonder we have the problems we have today with cancer and disease. Action step. If you're unsure how to move forward with eliminating these toxins from your diet, start writing down what you eat and keep track at the end of the week. Oftentimes, changing one's eating habits can be like trying to take an ice cream cone from a toddler. It just won't work without someone throwing a fit. But regular discipline and food or meal planning can aid in the process. Remember, it's about self-government, which is a fruit of the Holy Spirit. What to eat. This author eats a whole food, plant-based diet and recommends reading Dr. T. Colin Campbell's book, The China Study, to learn more about the importance of whole foods for proper nutrition. This groundbreaking study has a ton of information, but learning good eating habits requires effort, so do the research. We absolutely must eat clean, which is to say, we have to avoid the processed junk you can purchase in a box. Food is intended to go from the ground to our stomachs without much machinery getting in the way. Avoid the highly processed box foods as well as the sugar-laden drinks and snacks that have no nutritional value. Fruits and vegetables make up a large part of this author's diet, and juicing them increases nutritional intake and provides the body with a greater amount and greater density of essential minerals and so on. You should be eating lots of fruit, especially organic, whenever possible. Chris Walk documents a study done by Cornell University where the researchers dripped freshly extracted juice from 11 different fruits on liver cancer cells in order to see what might happen. Walk writes, pineapples, pears, oranges, and peaches had very little effect on the cancer cell growth directly, but bananas and grapefruit cut the cancer cell growth by 40%. Red grapes, strawberries, and apples were twice as potent as the bananas and grapefruit, but the tart fruits, cranberries and lemons, were the most powerful. Cranberries had the highest anti-cancer phenolic and antioxidant activity and cut liver cancer cell growth by 85%, with only a third of the dose of apples and strawberries. Lemons came in a close second. Fruits and vegetables have anti-cancer properties that fight against rogue cells. Berries are especially good. Quote, berries are the most potent anti-cancer fruits, partly due to their ability to protect and repair damage from oxidative stress and inflammation. Blueberries contain immune-boosting and anti-cancer compounds like ellagic acid, anthocyanins, and caffeic acid, end quote. Regarding vegetables, researchers published a study in January 2009 in the journal Food Chemistry in which they took 34 different vegetable extracts and dripped their extracted juices on different cancer cells to see what might take place. Their conclusion? Garlic is the most powerful anti-cancer vegetable. Garlic stopped cancer growth completely against the following tumor cell lines: breast cancer, brain cancer, lung cancer, pancreatic cancer, prostate cancer, childhood brain cancer, and stomach cancer. Leeks ran a close second and were number one against kidney cancer. But garlic and leeks weren't the only superstars. Almost every vegetable from the allium and cruciferous families completely stopped growth in the various cancers tested. The allium family vegetables tested were garlic, leeks, yellow onions, and green onions. The cruciferous family veggies tested were broccoli, Brussels sprouts, cauliflower, kale, red cabbage, and curly cabbage. Spinach and beetroot also scored in the top 10 against many of the cancers tested. Honorable mentions include asparagus, green beans, radishes, and rutabaga. If these fruits and vegetables can fight cancer, then they are foods that can prevent cancer. The standard American diet, however, lacks in fruits and veggies, which is undoubtedly a contributing factor to rampant disease and cancer. The mighty 90. In order to recover proper nutritional absorption and keep the cellular system running on all atomic cylinders, the most important thing to do is supplement your diet with the mighty 90. The mighty 90 are the 90 essential nutrients your body needs in order to function properly, experience healing, and stay healthy. Proper eating is only one aspect of healthy nutrition, and everyone must supplement to some degree because you cannot get what you need from food alone. The 90 essential nutrients are listed below. The 60 essential nutrients: metals, minerals, trace minerals, and rare earths. Aluminum, arsenic. Barium, beryllium, boron, bromine. Calcium, carbon, cerium, cesium, chloride, chromium, cobalt, copper. Dysprosium, erbium, europium, gadolinium, gallium, germanium, gold. Hafnium, holmium, hydrogen, iodine, iron, lanthanum, lithium, lutetium, magnesium, manganese, molybdenum, neodymium, nickel, niobium, nitrogen, oxygen, phosphorus, potassium, praseodymium, rhenium, rubidium, samarium, scandium, selenium, silica, silver, sodium, strontium, sulfur, tantalum, terbium, thulium, tin, titanium, vanadium, ytterbium, yttrium, zinc, zirconium. The 16 essential vitamins for humans and non-human vertebrates: vitamin A, vitamin B1, thiamine, vitamin B2, riboflavin, vitamin B3, niacin, vitamin B5, pantothenic acid, vitamin B6, pyridoxine, vitamin B12, cyanocobalamin, vitamin C, vitamin D, vitamin E, vitamin K, biotin, choline, flavonoids and bioflavonoids, folic acid, inositol, the 12 essential amino acids, valine, lysine, threonine, leucine, isoleucine, tryptophan, phenylalanine, methionine, histidine, arginine, taurine, tyrosine, the 3 essential fatty acids and cholesterol, linoleic acid, linolenic acid, arachidonic acid, and cholesterol. Gone are the days of blaming our illnesses on our parents, ancestors, and genes. New research in the field of epigenetics, including a renewed interest in holistic medicine, in my estimation, has snowballed into something absolutely wonderful. People are waking up to the problems of the allopathic worldview and are actively searching for answers in natural supplementation. Epigenetics, for example, is, quote, the story of nutrition and nutritional deficiency at the enzyme, chromosomal, and gene level, and how they affect the duplication and transmission of DNA, end quote. Dr. Wallach's entire life has been a study of disease, and each and every time the diseases are a result of nutritional deficiency, not a genetic disorder. Healthy nutrition, this cannot be overstated, is absolutely, without a doubt, the foundation of physical healing and vitality. How important, for example, are vitamins? Let's take a look. Vitamins. Vitamins are a collection of unrelated organic compounds that are necessary as cofactors for metabolic chemical reactions within cells and essential for normal growth and maintenance of health. Vitamins are essential nutrients in that most cannot be manufactured in the body and many perform as coenzymes. Vitamins do not supply calories or contribute to body mass, end quote. Vitamins are essential in regulating the body's metabolism. They convert carbs, fats, sugar, and proteins into the energy necessary for cellular health. Vitamin A. Essential for growth stimulation, the maintenance and function of the retina, your skin, and the intestinal mucosa. Deficiencies result in night blindness, infertility, depression, acne, depressed and suppressed immune system, birth defects, cancer, and much more. Vitamin D, essential for calcium absorption, hormone balance, and parathyroid functions. Deficiencies result in tics, Tourette syndrome, twitches, cramps, profuse sweating, rickets, restless leg syndrome, degenerative arthritis, and kidney stones. Vitamin E, essential for antioxidant functions, protection of cells from oxidative inflammation, protection of red blood cells, muscular and neurological health. Deficiencies result in Alzheimer's disease, anemia, infertility, depressed immune system, cellulite, ischemic heart disease, fibrocystic breast disease, fibromyalgia, cystic fibrosis, and muscular dystrophy, also related to selenium deficiency. Vitamin K, essential for the liver's production of several proteins necessary for blood clotting and the distribution and deposition of calcium in the bones. Deficiencies result in extended clotting time, liver disease, osteocalcin deficiency, dysfunction of calcium absorption, osteoporosis, osteoarthritis. Vitamin B, essential for energy production, optimal metabolism of carbohydrates, and glucose distribution. Deficiencies result in anxiety, confusion, nausea, depression, mental confusion or dementia, congestive heart failure, fibromyalgia, paralysis, and anorexia. Vitamins B1, B2, B3, B5, B6, B7, B9, and B12, all essential for various interrelated reasons connected to neurological and organ functions in the body. Vitamin C, essential for the production of collagen, connective tissue, cartilage, bones, teeth, blood vessel walls, capillaries, and absorption of iron. Deficiencies result in bleeding gums, loose teeth, bruising, dry skin, anorexia, poor growth, elevated cancer risk, scurvy, slow wound healing, and swollen joints. Choline, essential for healthy cell structures related to the central nervous system. Deficiencies result in fatty liver, liver cirrhosis, kidney hemorrhage, dementia, Alzheimer's disease, and Huntington's disease. Key nutrients. I want to highlight a few key nutrients. They are all important, but they are not all the same. Calcium. Calcium is the most abundant mineral in the human body. Nearly all the calcium in your body is found in your bones and teeth, with only a little in your blood and cellular fluid. Calcium is absorbed through the natural digestive process, specifically in the small intestine. Calcium, along with magnesium, zinc, iron, and copper, helps the body to produce serotonin. If you're lacking in calcium, you can't make serotonin, which means you'll end up depressed. Its importance cannot be overstated, as calcium deficiencies account for 147 diseases. Magnesium. Magnesium is required in order to produce and transfer energy necessary for the body to make use of protein. It also helps with muscles and nerves as they stretch and move and function. In the muscular system, calcium is the stimulator for the muscle. Magnesium is the relaxer. If you lack Mg, you'll likely experience asthma, anorexia, menstrual migraines, neuromuscular problems, depression, muscular weakness, tremors, vertigo, and the calcification of small arteries. Selenium. Selenium has received quite a bit of attention, and rightfully so. Selenium prevents the body's fats from going rancid. It is known to improve genome stability, as it works on the cellular level to protect from oxidative damage. If you're looking to detox metals like mercury, selenium helps by strengthening the liver to do its job. Deficiencies in selenium are connected to infertility, miscarriage, breast cancer, muscular dystrophy, heart palpitations, anemia, HIV, fatigue, scoliosis, pancreatitis, Parkinson's disease, and Alzheimer's disease. A physician-caused disease associated with the use of statin drugs, low cholesterol intake, and consumption of free radicals. Selenium is listed here because it is an anti-carcinogenic mineral, and a powerful one at that. It works to detox the bad and promote the cell's respiratory efforts at producing and promoting oxygen in the body. If you want to prevent cancer, or if you have cancer and you'd like to fight it, supplement with selenium. Nitric acid. The human body needs oxygen to make new cells, and it needs oxygen to keep them working. Hemoglobin in the blood distributes the oxygen to the cell. In order to get the blood to the tissue, you have to have circulation. In order to have proper circulation, you have to have nitric oxide. Your body naturally produces nitric oxide. You can increase your nitric oxide through special exercise, CBE number 5, and supplementation. Longevity's Cardio Beats is one of the better sources of nitric acid, not to be confused with nitrous oxide, N2O, or laughing gas. Nitric acid, NO, is a gas that serves as a signaling molecule in every cell of the body. It causes arteries and bronchioles to expand, allows brain cells to communicate with each other, and causes immune cells to kill bacteria and cancer cells. Humic and fulvic acid. Quote, "When our cells are not functioning properly and become weakened and even die, we feel this as a loss of vitality. We experience fatigue, illnesses, disease, and even death. Humic and fulvic are vitally important electrolytes to establishing and maintaining a healthy cellular membrane potential. When we receive all these nutrients, we naturally feel better and more alive. Equally important to humic and fulvic's role in nutrient activation and delivery to the cells for superior health is fulvic's ability to improve waste and toxin removal from cells and tissues by restoring cellular membrane electrical difference between inside and outside of each cell." End quote. Often called nature's, quote, mineral molecules, end quote, Fulvic supplies voltage and humic provides the vitamins, minerals, and amino acids necessary to make new cells. Fulvic is golden in color, whereas humic is almost black. A single molecule of humic acid can individually carry up to 60 different vital activated minerals to our cells. Another one of Fulvic's biological functions is its ability to remove heavy metals and other toxins that are stored in our fatty tissues in order to protect vital organs from these toxins. Fulvic acid acts as an escort, safely removing toxins from the body. Moringa oleifera. Moringa is probably the most nutritious plant on earth. It is, quote, God's mighty 90, end quote. Moringa is incredibly effective because it has 25 times more iron than spinach, 15 times more potassium than bananas, 4 times more protein than eggs, 10 times more vitamin A than carrots, 7 times more vitamin C than oranges, and 7 times more calcium than milk. Moringa oleifera is a tree native to the Himalayas in northwestern India. It is an annual that can grow in tropical and subtropical areas. Known as the, quote, horseradish tree, end quote, Moringa contains 92 different nutrients and 46 different antioxidants. This tree of life is entirely usable and is a powerhouse of nutrition. You can find moringa in a powder form or in capsules. Action step. Consider using moringa in your routine. You can make smoothies with it, take it in pill form, or even grab some organic teas that contain moringa powder. The endocannabinoid system. You've heard of cannabidiol, right? CBD oil is a hot commodity in the American economy, and people are starting to realize just how helpful this stuff really is. Dr. David Allen, an experienced heart surgeon who serves as a member of the International Cannabinoid Research Society, explains, quote, the discovery of the endocannabinoid system, ECS, is the single most important medical and scientific discovery ever, and will save more lives than the discovery and application of the sterile surgical technique, end quote. Discovered just 30 years ago, the ECS is a chemical communication system in your body. It is not electric, but chemical. Much like our hormone systems, the body manufactures cannabinoids, more than 80, which perform some rather miraculous functions. The ECS is responsible for homeostasis, environmental balance and proper function in the body. The use of CBD oil spurs on the ECS to fight against cancer, diabetes, and stroke. It is not psychoactive like THC found in the marijuana plant. The benefits of CBD are numerous. It is an anti-seizure and anti-epileptic oil. It helps the neurological system by decreasing anxiety and promoting chemical tranquility. While it can be used to treat various diseases, CBD oil is a helpful preventative for daily use which promotes the general health of the immune system. It is also a powerful antioxidant. Used to help treat autism, CBD has personally been beneficial to this author's family. As you can see, nutrition and nutritional absorption are foundational to cellular health, and cellular health is foundational to the body's overall health. I recommend supplementation with longevity and a daily regimen of CBD oil. Cell building essential number 2, healthy hydration. The human body is roughly 75% water. To say that your body needs water is almost an understatement. Your body is water. Healthy hydration is essential to cellular health, but not all water sources are created equal. In order to receive the benefits of water, it needs to be filtered of contaminants, oxygenated, and routinely cleansed and fortified with chlorine dioxide, CD/MMS, and dimethyl sulfoxide, DMSO. Rebuilding the house after a tornado requires access to clean water, and the same goes for cellular regeneration and overall health. My family and I have been using Berkey filters for nearly a decade. These gravity water filters remove hundreds of contaminants, including fluoride and heavy metals. Made of ceramic and housed inside a stainless steel encasement, the Berkey filter system is a must when it comes to purified drinking water. After drinking this water for just a few weeks, it becomes readily apparent that its taste is much different than what you can buy in a store. Another recommendation for getting good quality water is to ozone your water with an ozone generator. Ozoning your water purifies it from bacteria, viruses, spores, parasites, and chemicals, thus giving you more oxygen. Remember, oxygen is your friend, and your body needs a lot of it. Oxygen is the lifeblood of your cellular system. Cancer, for example, deprives cells of oxygen, thus removing the one thing they desperately need to create energy and get rid of waste. Quote, "The prime cause of cancer is the replacement of normal oxygen respiration of body cells by an anaerobic cell respiration." End quote. In other words, no oxygen, no cellular health. No cellular health, cancer and disease flourish. Dr. Tennant explains, "When things are put into water to make the water some other drink, it changes how the water reacts in the body. If you take good water from a well or an uncontaminated stream, it will be alkali. Finding good water anywhere in the world is getting harder because of chemical contaminations. That means it contains electrons available for your body to use in its metabolism. However, if you put chlorine and or fluoride in it, it becomes acidic. Anything that is acidic is an electron stealer. Anything that is alkali is an electron donor. Your cells are composed of water, but it is also what your body uses to wash itself internally to clean away the garbage that gets in. Would you wash your car with coffee? Then consider washing the inside of your body with coffee or tea or sodas. Avoid water in plastic bottles, which are mass-produced by companies with bad water and even worse packaging. Your body needs clean water free of fluoride, free of contaminants, and infused with oxygen and alkalinity. Miracle Mineral Solution, chlorine dioxide. Chlorine dioxide is an FDA-approved water purifier and is one of the best, safest, and most inexpensive detoxifying agents known to man. Chlorine dioxide is not bleach, which is sodium hypochlorite. Typically referred to as the Miracle Mineral Solution, MMS, CD, is known to cure malaria within 24 to 28 hours. There are several benefits to CD, including boosting the immune system, healing wounds and rashes on the skin, detoxing pathogens and neurotoxins, treating autism, and a whole lot more. Chlorine dioxide is a selective killer, which means it has the capability of destroying unwanted pathogens while leaving the good in the body alone. It is a non-carcinogenic. CD breaks down the bacterial cell wall, or when it comes to viruses, loosens the viral envelope, thus deactivating the cell while leaving human tissue alone. Functioning as an oxidizer, CD seeks and destroys rogue cells, killing pathogenic microorganisms like viruses, fungi, and bacteria. CD can be used to clean fruits and vegetables before consumption, thus ensuring that you're not ingesting something that you shouldn't. I recommend picking up a copy of Jim Humble's book, MMS, Health Recovery Guidebook, which can be ordered directly from his website. In Humble's book, there are lots of various protocols for different health concerns, and this book is a regular staple in my house. To maintain good overall health, you can take a dose of CD a few times each week. You only need to take 3 drops of CD mix in a glass of filtered water a couple of times a week to keep up your good health. Remember the starting CD rule, quote, "Low and slow is the way to go," end quote. When you're not in a viral emergency, begin with 1 drop of CD every hour for 8 hours, and work your way up to the 3 to 5 drop dose that your body can tolerate, i.e., no Herxheimer's reaction. To accelerate this healing protocol, you can add DMSO on a 3-to-1 ratio to your CD. So after you take your appropriate dose of CD in 4 ounces of water, take your glass and pour 4 more ounces of water into it, then add the correct amount of DMSO. For example, if you took 1 drop of CD in 4 ounces of water, then put 3 drops of DMSO in the next 4-ounce glass of water. Drink one right after the other. No need to wait. Remember, fear, i.e., quote, emotional stress, end quote, is one of the 3 main forces that causes disease, the other 2 sources of stress being physical and chemical. If you're looking for more information on chlorine dioxide, please visit www.carrierrivera.com and pick up a copy of her, quote, alternative first aid reference guide, end quote. DMSO. Nature's natural healer is made from wood pulp. DMSO binds with water, changing the structure of water at the cellular level. This process heals cellular damage and reduces free radicals from the body. A lack of cellular health produces these free radicals, which end up causing sickness, inflammation, and a host of other diseases. DMSO increases the permeability of the cell's membrane, thus allowing it to flush the toxins encamped within the cell. When the toxins are released and flushed out of the system, this naturally promotes the availability of oxygen to the cell, and thus it functions the way God intended it to function. DMSO is not toxic and does leave the body through the urine. There's no buildup. Quote, dimethyl sulfoxide, DMSO, is an anti-inflammatory and analgesic compound that holds promise in managing a wide range of debilitating health conditions. DMSO is an approved pharmacological agent in more than 125 countries, and its safety and therapeutic effects are backed by nearly 50 years of research and more than 10,000 scientific articles on its biological implications. End quote. DMSO is used to treat all sorts of diseases and conditions: Alzheimer's disease, arthritis, atherosclerosis, Down syndrome, drug extravasation injury or chemo damage, fibromyalgia, herpes, interstitial cystitis, malignancy, plastic surgery adjunct, prostatitis, reflex sympathetic dystrophy, scleroderma, spinal cord injury, stroke, and ulcerative colitis. DMSO helps with allergies, immune function, joint pain, muscle pain, headaches, and sicknesses like bronchitis. This natural healer can be taken diluted or via a stick, which can be rubbed on the feet, arms, or wherever you might need. As mentioned in the previous section on chlorine dioxide, DMSO can be taken with chlorine dioxide in order to enhance the healing process. The DMSO Handbook for Doctors, available on Amazon, contains a lot of different protocols for various health issues, so be sure to grab a copy. Action step. Consider using MMS/CD and DMSO every day and/or week. 10 things from Chapter 4. 1. Jesus is the bread of life. He created nutrients and wants us to have them so that we can serve him and our neighbors. 2. The secret to a healthy life is developing healthy cells, and healthy cells can only be healthy to the degree that they receive the proper raw materials. 3. Stay away from hydrogenated and partially hydrogenated oils, refined sugars, excitotoxins like MSG and aspartame, and GMOs. 4. Studies have shown that fruits and vegetables fight cancer and win. If these fruits and veggies can fight cancer, then they are foods that can prevent cancer, so get them in your diet a lot. 5. In order to recover proper nutritional absorption and keep the cellular system running on all atomic cylinders, the most important thing to do is supplement your diet with the Mighty 90. 6. 90 essential nutrients equals 60 minerals. 16 vitamins, 12 amino acids, and 3 fatty acids. 7. Nitric, humic, and fulvic acid are essential. Moringa is the world's most powerful plant, and you should be using CBD oil regularly. 8. You need water because you are water. 9. Miracle Mineral Solution, MMS, and chlorine dioxide is significant in helping promote proper oxygenation at the cellular level. 10. Dimethyl sulfoxide, DMSO, is wood pulp derivative, which has been shown to fight off various diseases.